and we are back with this same tournament, different team over in FSL PUBG Mobile Open 2, supported by Intel and Yahoo and casted by Toast Talks and Sis Jenny. So right now we're going to cover the live scores of what happened in the previous match.
So after round number 1 in Erangel, we have FGI Armor in first place with 26 points, Somnium Cavalry in second with 20. Team 21 only have 14 points, Valdez Euphrosyne with 12. So MPX just bubbling under in that fifth spot with 9 points. Geek Ladies Indonesia in sixth with 6. So you can see top 6 teams, they are very, very close to each other. The kill points, I have to say, is kind of spread out between the teams. Teams like FGID Armor, they managed to secure 11 kills in round number 1, closely followed by Somnium Cavalry with 8, and Valdez Euphrosyne also with 8 kills, and Team 21 with 4. So as you can see, Team 21, they came in third and managed to maintain their third spot with that 4 kills. MPX Queen, on the other hand, they finished in fourth, giving themselves 8 positional points, but with only 1 kills, they were easily overtaken by team number Geek Ladies. Geek Ladies. All right. So we are waiting for the teams to jump in to the lobby. We are gonna jump into Sanhok, the next map. Sis Jenny, since you like to predict, right? Who do you think? Who do you think will come out on top, or at least the top 4? Give me your top 4 predictions in Sanhok.
Okay, I would say this time demigoddesses will come back because they didn't have the chance to fight because the first few areas that they went down earlier, they collided with 4 teams, so they did not have loots. And then when they want to go into the zone, they can I wanted to say Malay just now. They got strike again, so yeah, it was just undoable for demigoddesses. I think this is the time where they will show off in Sandhawk, and we can see them trying to get kills. And then probably MPX, okay, Malaysia's favorite map, Sandhawk. I think they will also get kills. And what else is my prediction? Velders, of course, not to forget. The one that has been getting kills. So as okay, I'm kind of torn into. Can I give 5 teams instead?
Sure. Let's give you 5 teams.
Okay, maybe Velders, and then last but not least is SNV. SNM. Or they call themselves Sonium, because I see the way they're playing, they are using their IQ a lot. So because of their IQ, I think they can get placement, and then they can kill along the way. So it can happen that manner. So it just depends whether, maybe because some teams certain map is their strength. So looking at Somnia's earlier, I think they train more in Erangel, because that kind of rotation is usually it's not a normal rotation where many teams would do. This is
It's
really
weird,
after,
right?
yeah, a lot of execution. They every time when they go for scrims, they try different styles, and it work. So that's why they are so comfortable that to such a weird circle, even if they are from all the way Zarki, by the way, if you're not familiar with the map, is all the way up northeast, all the way up. Even if they were from Zarki, they will find a way to get them into SMB, because that was how the rotation was. They were all the way from Jogopol, they went down, and they went to the last 2 teams, like top 2 and 3 was still alive. How in the world?
Yeah.
Because these kind of things don't usually happen unless this team has, it's not about luck. It's really about experience. We can see that happening because they were being, you saw how the bridge was being gatekept earlier. There was
Yep.
MPX on the other side. There was Velders on the other side. But it's the timing. Demigoddesses couldn't come in even though they were already at the edge. But this team, they know the right timing to come in. They split the distraction, or the last person that was supposed to come in, that was a distraction when the 3 of them have already flew in earlier. So that was really kudos to Somnias. I mean, of course, I'm not trying to take sides, but that was one of the epic moves that we actually saw in the first match in Erangel.
Understandable. And speaking of unorthodox move, you also mentioned for MPX, they were rotating into the safe zone or circle, or however you want to call it, at the 23rd second. So you mentioned yourself in that game that it was such an unorthodox timing to move,
Mm,
and because of that, they managed to be in the top four regardless.
mm,
So again, we're seeing a lot of unorthodox move coming in from the different teams,
mm-hmm,
and I think you hit the nail when you say that it's really down to experience, down to practice, and to know to really nail down your timing. Like teams might not even jump in at the 23rd minute, right? So because it's very specific, 23 seconds, not minutes, 23 seconds to rotate into the circle. And teams, they might rotate over in what 10 seconds. I'm not sure the usual timing, let's put it that way, but 23 seconds to rotate into the safe zone. It's, I have to say, it's quite unorthodox. And congratulations to MPX for being the top five now. I think they managed to be in the top four, but they were overtaken by another team. But they are in the top five. They are in the conversation of going into the top four, right? So again, only the top four will make it into tomorrow's playoffs, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see, and I'm especially looking forward to Demi Goddesses because, like you mentioned, it was a bit weird coming from them that they did not take that aircraft to fly into the safe zone, and instead opting to continue using that buggy, which in the end was the cause of their demise. So they unfortunately eliminated quite early on in game number one, but they still have two other games. But as we've seen in a group A, you definitely have to be consistent. So
mm-hmm.
could this be their downfall here if they for Demi Goddesses, if they actually were to give up early on in Erangel, will they be able to come back in Sanhok and of course in the third map? We'll have to jump in and see because we're gonna start the game very, very shortly. I think we are just missing a few other people here. So again, to recap, Sis Jenny, your picks are Demi Goddesses, Valdez Euphrosyne,
Mm-hmm.
Somnium Calvary, MPX, I think, and what was the other team that you mentioned?
FGID.
FGID. All right,
Mm.
so currently the top five, I would say, right? Top five, except for Demigoddesses, they are currently in ninth place. So if it were up to me, I think FGID Armor, they've done very, very well. 11 kills so far. MPX just bubbling under. They do have the positional points. They do have good rotation timings and all that, but they need to get those kills because we've seen twice in both Group A1 and A2, the fifth team missing out on the top four by just 1 point. And that 1 point could have come in terms of kills, right? So definitely teams, they need to get as many kills as possible. But I understand from this Group B, the kills are quite spread out. Not a lot of teams getting high number of kills. It is being spread out between the top four, and unfortunately, they might have to try a bit harder to get in the teams, right? So we are still waiting for second game to start. So in the meantime, of course, guys, do help us to like and share the stream, and to get this to as many people as possible. And of course, if you guys like such tournaments, do follow FSL because they do Valorant, they do Wild Rift, and of course PUBG Mobile. So Sis Jenny, I think we have just gotten word that the map is gonna start very, very shortly. So I hope your top five prediction will come true. But where do you think the zone will be in
Oh,
Sanhok though? So that's what I wanna know. That's what I wanna know.
do you really want me to say? I'm scared I would like be the curse, the caster's curse. So, uh, I don't know. Yeah, I have to see the flight route and stuff. So if you have not, if you okay, before I was a caster, I was a player in PUBG. So I was in a team and I was the IGL. So when I'm playing in as an IGL, whenever there's scrims or tournament, when I pick that area,
Mhm.
trust me, it's always the last circle. It's just that my
Ah.
team don't really have such firepower to fight. So we will either end up at top five or top six. But then again, the zone reader is here.
So Zone
Wow!
Reader, please take it away.
All right, flying over the archipelago. Sorry, guys, I just had to say that. archipelago of three beautiful islands of Sanhok being to one land. It cuts in the middle like a piece of cake. Starts from Cow and Camp Charlie. Similarly, like the first Sanhok we saw, this is the same flight route that is happening right now over to Team B1. And we can see teams are going down. I think it seems like Velders will head on to bootcamp all alone. MPX maybe choosing Painan or maybe Ruins. Again, this kind of flight route you can take anywhere, and I hope we don't see any clashes. But it seems like Hartin might have a early contest. There's two teams there. Yep, they have already landed in Hartin, and then there is quite a crowd over in Ban also, near where demi goddesses are actually aiming to be, over in Korea. I think they have a thing about Korea, guys, because they like Korea in Erangel and they are like Korean here also. So maybe. But we can look into Hatin right now, where we are seeing two teams, and I've got a feeling this is actually Indonesia versus Indonesia, and they probably played with each other quite often to know their rotation.
Right, so again, we are currently looking at team number 3. It is sorry, not FGID, but rather Gigs Ferry Indonesia. They ended up in 10th spot in game number 1, so they are looking to bounce back here. And of course, team number 2, FGID Armor, who was the champion, the winner chicken dinner in game number 1. So it could be a case of either the top team taking out team in the lower half of the table, or the team at the lower half of the table taking out the first team in the ranking. So it's going to be very interesting to see if both teams decide to go for this engagement. But look at that zone. It's covering majority of the north side of the island, and a lot of, not many of the teams right outside of the zone at this point of time. Team MPX just quite close on the outskirts of that safe zone. So FGI Diama, it seems like they are going to rotate away from team number 3, Geeks Ferry, so they'll have much ample time to continue their loot uncontested. And they are going to start to cross over this breach. So not a lot of armor protection being picked up here by Nay. Only has that level 1 vest. No helmet at this point of time, says Jenny, so it's quite unprotected if there were any shots to the head.
Yeah, but it seems like I think those two teams have a mutual understanding. None of them had pressure fire, so it's okay. I think they are good to go. No loot, they can loot all they want. Similarly to all the other teams that is being spread out right now, it's all about who gets into the circle first. If you can't see, the circle is in the favor of the north. Hardly on the west. I did see, yeah, it's quite an even circle this time. I can't tell as of now. There's a way for me to read, which I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh,
I tell you,
secrets
then you
yet
would know.
again, chat. Secrets yet
Yes,
again. This Jenny with all
there's
the secrets here.
I will only happen to get to read it when the blue is coming closer. Then I will be able to tell you guys. So maybe later on, maybe observer, he can open it within 10 minutes, and I maybe predict and tell you guys where is it, and then maybe I'm right. But this time, if I predict, the circle is fine. You see, it's not a dreadful circle as compared to Irregular earlier, where I open my mouth and kind of like curse the entire thing. So hopefully this time it is going to be in everybody's favor, where they got their loot in their individual drop spots, and they are ready for a battle. So we're looking to MPX taking charge of areas near ruins. And this is the houses or the huts behind ruins, and actually this is a good place to loot a lot of things you can find. By the time you come out, your bag heavy already. Yeah, a lot of things you can find over in this area that they can cover, and they are free to roam. The entire space is theirs. They can go all the way to boot camp without having a contest, because demigod, the only way they are going to go is up. So we are probably seeing teams heading towards paradise, thinking that is the circle and stuff. We're gonna see exactly to where it will lead, but nope. As of now, no possible contest.
Yep, you're right. So it's gonna be quite the drag here for the teams, because they will be able to loot multiple towns quite safely and without any fear of any repercussions or pressure fire, as you like to say. And because teams they are quite evenly spread out at this point of time. But it seems like Grim's the only team right in front of them seems to be Winnow Dreams, who did not secure any kills previously. And will they be able to secure kills from Grimm's Phoenix here, who coming in to round number 2, I think sitting probably dead last, building the foundation of the table there with 2 points. And we might be able to see the very first engagement here between Winnow Dreams as well as Grim Phoenix. And just to spice things up, seems like they will. Oh no, maybe they are gonna retreat away. They might have information on where the teams are and decide to not engage early on in this map. It is, after all, the first zone with just less than a minute. So, oh,
Oh
he
my
gets knocked
god.
down, Army. I'm not sure where that shot came from, this is
Oh.
Jenny, but oh, what a time to get knocked there. Standing still gets knocked, and the rest of Team We Know Dreams, 2 players coming in, has been knocked down, and We Know Dreams will have to go for this pickup. 3 We Know Dreams player, and they have been eliminated here by the Grim Reapers. The Grim Phoenix has taken out We Know Dreams, but before they died out, they managed to take out 2 members, but they will be easily picked up by the rest of Grim Phoenix. So
Mm.
very, very exciting first engagement there, sis Jenny. What do you think could have We Know Dreams done better there?
That was really uncalled for because if you realize there was one player that was in front, I'm not sure whether she had a glitch because she was very close to the enemy and then suddenly she went AFK and she was looking down. So she was the first how to say the bait that got Grims to push the confidence. Literally looking down, we didn't know what happened, but probably that was an error, and because of that, it kind of gotten the team. They were not ready to contest, and that's the reason why they got overpowered because they were making their way up. They did not even blank out, so they were not ready. As compared to Grims, who are coming out in one straight line, means they have already opened up. They will get the advantage on the fire angle or the angle to shoot from that range. So yeah, and now we are looking into teams that is using the boat to rotate around on the probably the north side. Yeah, the north side of the circle. And I'm still trying to read it, but I think it's a bit zoom in and maybe later. I don't know. I can't say, or maybe shouldn't I shouldn't read it all. I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad for having to always predict, and then you guys like
He's
the
right.
circle. Yeah, spoiler. The party pooper already says where it is. So no, this time I will keep it. I will keep my mouth shut. Okay.
Keeping it close to the chest is Sis Jenny, the zone reader Nostradamus of PUBG Mobile, guys. So we are gonna look into FGID. They are still looking for that first kill for themselves. They are not up on the board just yet, but they are gonna try to gatekeep this bridge, which I believe could be the only choke point coming in to the safe zone. And Yep. It's the only choke point coming in to the safe zone. But of course, Geek can go on the way of Somnium Cavalry by taking that boat or swimming over. So Demigod, on the other hand, again, it's still early goings for for all the teams rather, as they are still looking for that early kills. And the only team with the kills will be Grim Phoenix, taking out the whole of Team We Know Dream. So they'll have to build the foundations of that table there, sitting in dead last, coming in the second round. So of course, this is Sanhok and this is FSL PUBG Mobile Open number 2, brought to you by Intel and Yahoo, casted by none other than Sis Jenny and myself, Toast. And we are, like I mentioned, in the second round already, but it's still early goings as the first zone is starting to close on in. We just hit nearly about 10 minutes of game time with Demigoddesses not having to do much here currently because there's no teams nearby. The only probable teams that could go against them would be Valus Euphrosyne, much to their chagrin, is they're only in the north side of themselves. But Paradise does not seem to be occupied at this moment of time. So again, teams, they want to play it safe, but not too safe, and they would rather wait for the next few zones before engaging, Sis Jenny. So we will be looking at a lot of intel gathering for the teams. Intel gathering, waiting for the next zone, looting processes, and to prepare themselves for the next few safe zones.
Actually, right now, I think I can give you guys a hint that people like Veldus and MPX shouldn't move. That's exactly where it will be. Good hint or not?
All right. So what you're saying is Painan and Bootcamp will be inside of the next safe zone. So let's see if
Not
Sis Jenny
really.
is right. Okay, so you're talking about Bootcamp then, right? Because MPX and Valdez is
Nah,
quite near to
around that
Bootcamp.
range. Around that
So we'll
range.
see
I
if
might be
it's
wrong.
true.
Oh, I'm wrong this time, guys. You see, this is what happened in Sanhok. This is what happens in Sanhok. When you try to predict it, it has a hard shift. So this one, it really did not tell. Like I said, there's a way to read it. So I'm using the same way to read it, and it did not. So this is, or some casters would call it as the circle scam. Yeah.
Circle
And it
scam.
happens in Sanhok only, guys. Seriously, it only happens in Sanhok, hardly in Erangel and Miramar, and even Vikendi. So, this is where the trick of it. How do I say it? This is where teams have to outwit their how do you outwit their skills. Is that the
With their
saying?
opponents or
They have to
outplay their
outsmart
opponent.
themselves in order to get their circle. So right now, of course, it is easy. Oh, but the first knockout happened from the vantage point. Oh, that's really, really sneaky from FGID. I really like them because they are so sneaky in that sense. One by one went down, bro. How in the world? They did not expect that. Probably Gig was trying to get away. And now with only one player in. Snap. Lucky Ennis seeing the buggy as a savior, and Ennis will head onto the buggy in order to get away from the team that actually waited patiently for this team to actually come in. FGID could have sprayed them when they were on the bridge, but they waited and waited like a cheetah trying to prey on a deer. Waited and waited to come nearer, or a crocodile in the water trying to prey on a deer, and then just as they come in, they pounce, and that's it. And there you go, easy peasy, fast and sneaky. Geeks, three of them already eliminated.
So 3 deers from the Geek Fam has been eliminated by cheetahs from FGID Armor. So good analogy, I have to say, because as you mentioned, FGID had all the time in the world to take out Geek while they were crossing that bridge, but instead they they waited. The patience level for FGID here is through the roof, I have to say, and such pinpoint accuracy that we saw how each one of those players from Geek Fairy actually dropped right out of the car, and Anis, who was the driver, was the only sole survivor in
Mm.
that encounter. I mean, she drove so far away from SGID, right? But FGID was so accurate that they were able to take out 3 members. She was defensively riding to divert or probably rotate away from FGID, but FGID so accurate, taking out 3 members from Geek Fairy. And right now they've got 3 kills just by being patient. So patience is definitely a virtue here, guys. As we do see team number 10 of Veldus Euphrosyne taking control of Paradise Resort, and they don't have anything to worry about because I don't think anyone else is in Paradise currently at this point of time. There was a team there that was quite close. I think it was Geek, and yeah, but Geek was quite close, but unfortunately, they've rotated away from Paradise Resort. So MK14 inside of that airdrop, and I believe you mentioned MK14 is the gun to be looking out for, right, Sis Jenny?
Really? Actually, no.
Or did I read
There's
it wrong?
yeah.
Okay,
Because
so I read it wrong.
the gun that is preferred is actually M4. So maybe,
Ah.
yeah, the M makes you a little bit like ambitious. Sorry,
I
just
got
funny.
you. I got you.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently again another scam. It went towards this way. You saw how it jumped, right? It went from the
Yep.
first circle, then it left, went to the right, and then to the left. So these kind of circles are dangerous, where even the scouters or the zone readers or IGLs at least in the teams, finding it a bit hard to plot in the last one. But right now it's going to be very obvious because like I said, there's a way to read it. Right now I am able to tell where is the next zone might be. So again, Velders and play team like Velders is pretty much safe to be in that area. Actually, it's a torn into two kind of prediction here. It could be going either ways, whether, but right now the safest is Velders because they are still gonna be in the circle for the next round because the all the other teams are prominently uh on the others on the extreme left or the extreme right of the current circle. So the only safe team right now is still looking at Velders because they will be part of the circle no matter what. Because there will be teams that will be part. It's just that they are on the extreme is on one another angles. At least for now. But Demi Goddess has actually spotted a team across, and this is Team 8, and we're looking is Team 21, just trying to spray away. And I'm literally waiting for them to come in and step forward to show what they have in store for us. Because you know what, there's a lot of fans here in the chat, in the comment box, um looking out for demi goddesses. Actually, they want them to have results at least. But really looking sad for team 8 because apparently this particular group, they are playing it like the prey and predator kind of mode. Most of them are doing outside of the circles, guarding the gatekeeping, mostly are gatekeeping, just trying to get into the perimeters and get a backfire here and that. Right now, instantly, from the distance, getting a third party affair, immediate termination, immediately getting one kill out of it. If I'm not mistaken, that was a team from X. Wait, what is that team name? I can't remember, but oh yeah,
I
it's
think
that red
Valdez
color
took them out.
team. Yes, and I think it is the baby T team. Oh, Velda's knocked them out. Okay. So that's quite a different angle again. Velda's just looking out for possible engagement of angles. But I would say this game is very passive. Most teams, they don't go around looking for fights. And comparing it to the previous team, BTR was on they were hunting. Yep, Wine having a target on towards C9.
But that smoke has given their position away, it seems like, because Wine was trying to spray in to the direction of that smoke. So C9 was able to rotate away after that revive. So good on them to make use of that smoke to rotate away. And Wine not able to secure any kills for Team Valdez. And again, Paradise Resort in the crosshairs of C9X, as they are still oh no, they've already lost one player. There's 3 members in there. So the shift from the circle. So Valdez, technically they are still quite safe. They are in the vicinity of the circle trying to move on
Mm-hmm.
in. But Geek Fairy, definitely quite safe, and we've seen her not moving for the past 2 zones. So she's definitely playing it very safe, wanting to make sure that they are in the top 4, even winning the round in Sanhok. But with only one player, it's gonna be a bit hard to go for that clutch, especially with another team right in your vicinity. So Team Geek Fairy, they really have to be stealthy and sneaky, like the cheetahs that you mentioned that were FGID.
Yes, and in the kill feed here, we are seeing Velders contacting another team, but also FGID spotted MPX from the distance, and even Team 8 or Team 21 is being contacted right now from different angles. They have been contacted by Team 1 and also Velders from the distance, so they are really fishing out for kills. In fact, right now, still not getting any actions from Demi Goddesses. It is still Velders coming up, trying to get kills or whatever they can. In fact, Grims is also quite quite angry this time. Probably because the previous round they did not get into the circle. They were gatekeep heavily. They couldn't perform. They couldn't get kills. And right now we can see they are being aggressive on this map. They have been killing and they are still killing. Really on the momentum of finding the kill steals. Yeah, in fact, they are the ones at the bottom grinding up. I didn't know what exactly happened to MPX, but apparently they are no longer in the match. Uh, or maybe it's being stacked. I'm not so sure, but I think they are no longer in the match. So probably got eaten by the teams that has been coming into the circle, or they might just still be in the game, but just that they are in the blues. So no, they are no longer in it. So unfortunately got eaten up. And now a close contact possible here after trying to sneak on, but not. Oh, I think the backup is coming. True enough, they are going to fight back. Grims is angry. Now 1v1 affair. Who will win this? Lying down first. This is a very, very smart tactic by Nis. Very well done with the Thompson gun all ready to lie down and shoot the opponent away. Actually, that is a good tactic and a good meta in PUBG that has been used popularized in the pro player level. You know, they usually will lie down, and in fact it will be harder to shoot when you are standing up.
Yep, with that drop shot, they managed to secure a full squad wipe on that team. So they have 4 kills already, but a good throw there by Team 21 on that grenade throw, hitting Demigod. And Demigod only have Arki as well as Tala right in front of Norms trying to nom onto Arki. Arki very, very low, might bleed out here. And Demigod Tala gets popped with that grenade. Will it hit? Go! Beautiful hit by Norms. Demigod Tala brought down to her knees with that grenade throw. And I think L is just too far away to go for that pickup here, but she could get a kill here. Oh, unfortunate for her. She was still outside of the safe zone, says Jenny. Gets taken out by Wine. So Team Demigoddesses, they have been eliminated in 8th position. It is an improvement from game number 1, but not living up to our expectations here, as Team FGID already secures 5 kills. They are going to gatekeep, and at gatekeep they will against Grimm's Phoenix, who only I think has 1 player left remaining. And it seems that SNM has been knocked out, but K Grims has also been eliminated. So fast and furious action here coming from the side of FGID, and they saw team number 7 in the distance. Can they go for this tap here? Managed to secure a bit of that spray. Team number 7, Somnium Cavalry. I think there's only 2 players left in that team. 3. 1 player's already been knocked down, and she might bleed out. So they only have 3 at this point in time. Could she get third party here? But it does not seem to be the case. Grisella will finish her off. Team number 7, no kills yet, but already losing 1 player. They will try to gatekeep against team number 4, Geek Ladies ID. So Geek Ladies ID out in the open here. Grisella could get shot down. Double knockdown by Vogue. And Vogue will just have to go and finish them off. The rest of the Team Geeks will try to move on in, but it seems like they will not be able to go for that pickup. Sis Jenny, Team Geeks have not been playing very, very well, unfortunately.
I think they are just trying to win the circle again. Sanhok, it's all about the circle. Looking in SNM here again with their IQ game 101, winning the circle again. I totally disregard on how they actually rotated earlier, but again I think it's because of their IQ in the rotation they managed to win this. And if you can see, this team don't really have much kills, but it's because they know how to survive, they know how to get in, and because of that they can be in the top position just because they are able to do these magic powers, like being the zone reader, or how to come in and stuff. They still have 4 players if I'm not mistaken. Currently 1 is knocked. All the teams are just coming in. FGID and Velders are showing strengths of frag. They are the ones who have been fragging all along since they wrangle, and this is quite consistent. We can see that they are farming kills. 7 kills for FGID. Still looking for how much has Velders killed. Probably about 12. on their end. Oh, eight guys, 8 kills already. A bit tied with FGID just doing the farm, and now currently looking towards the same thing. Now they have to outsmart the current teams that knows how to get their way across, which is SNM. But Benjamin probably is getting all the intel, telling the team where is that noisy team who has been spraying, which is actually FGID, towards the team. The team players that is waiting for the information given, because they are not pushing, they are waiting for each team to make their mistakes. In looking at that, Geeks with 2 player in, SNM only with one. They have to find a way to revive so that they still can get placement points, even though their kills is only one for now.
Somnium Calvary again. No teams are currently inside of that safe zone, so a lot of the teams they are gonna gatekeep each other out. But it seems like one team has free reign, and I think that is team number 10. Team number 10, Valdez Frosny has free reign of making their way inside of the safe zone, because the rest of the team they are looking in the other direction. But again, 4 teams remaining, 9 players still alive. Top 4 already decided in round number 2, and it's just up to the teams to see where they fall in the rankings. Team Valdez Frosny are starting to move into the safe zone. Safe zone started close on in. 7 safe zone already, and we've seen 8. Can we go for the full 8 here? Geek Case has been knocked down, and Lean from team number 4. Geek Ladies will. Oh, but Geek Ladies has been eliminated just like that. 2 teams remaining. I think it's a 3-on-3 at this point of time. It's Valdez Frosty going up against SM. Somnium still goes for the jiggle. 2 players knocked down on Valdez. They are going to make it. Try to make it on top here, but Malia has already been brought down very, very low. Kior as well. Brought down very low. 2 players on the side of Somnium Cavalry. Very, very low. 1 player knocked out. So Team Valdez Frosty definitely has the upper hand here. 2-on-1. Oh no, it's actually both players have been knocked down. It could be a 1v1, sis Jenny. 1v1 grenade they're being thrown, providing the rotational, forcing the rotation guy right in front of Malia. So I think it's a 1v1 sis Jenny. Wine already getting knocked down, and Malia could go for the Thompson gun, and if they manage to get that pickup, it's going to be a 2v1 situation. Low tossing it right in the direction of Benjamin, but I think Wine has already been picked up here. Oh no, Somnium Calvary has won the second game, I think, due to the safe zone, sis Jenny. So Somnium Calvary, your winners for game number 2.
Yeah, number 3 is Valdez Frosny. Sorry, I said number 3. Number 2. Number 3 is Geek Ladies. Number 4 is FGID. Number 5, I can't remember which team. I think this is Team 21.
21, yeah.
Number 6 is Geeks Ferry. Number 7, Grims. Number 8, Demigoddesses. Number 9, C9. Number 10, MPX Queen. And last but not least is Win Now Dreams.
So what a game. What a game. FGID not able to replicate the winning streak coming in from Erangel. But Valdez Euphrosyne quite consistent, I would say. Coming in the top 5, especially after game number 1. So what do you think about the winners? That is, I think, Somnium Calvary. I think they were one of your top 5 predictions.
Yep, because uh Sonium, yeah. Sonium Cavalry, they are using this IQ, which again it's not something that you can replicate. It's really the team's individual. So probably they have proper coach, or like just do homeworks and stuff. So they win rotation, then they get the kills later. If you realize they have been only having 1 kill, they really prioritize the circle. They really try to disguise themselves, ghost themselves to get in, and because of that they got in. Similarly to what happened in the first Erangel, in such impossible circles, but they managed to get in. And Sanhok, I think this is much more easier, so it's possible for them. Probably that's a threat to other teams, because this particular team will always get the circle, or the circle they bought the circle, open inverted commas. But yeah, congratulations, and definitely well done. The plan worked for them. Yeah.
All right. As the scores are being tallied up, we'll give you the scores right after a quick break and right before we head into round number 3, the final round for today's event. We're going to head into Erangel, but right after this break. Don't go anywhere.